Okay, so here's the first piece I made after I lost my job. Unfortunately, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, so yeah, this is a 3D style kaba painting on a round canvas, and I added some gold leaf details to, zhuzh it up a little bit. Just reminds me of a time of peace and happiness. So to start, I prepped the canvas with 2 layers of acrylic gesso. I applied that before the background, and I did that with a wide brush. Then for the 3D texture, I mixed modeling paste with black acrylic paint. I used two different spatulas to layer onto the canvas, one for the big areas and then one for the details, like the pillars. And then next, I taped the edges of the kaba. That was to keep the lines crisp. And then I painted over the tape, which seals the edges, so it prevents the modeling piece from bleeding under the tape and ruining the canvas. Got to keep those lines clean. Anyway, I then put on the black modeling paste, and I left that to be, probably takes about 24 hours to fully dry. When you touch it, you want it to be solid, not mushy, not moving about. You don't want to ruin it when you move on to the next stage. So yeah, I did that before moving on. And then for the white pillars, I used the smaller spatula, as I said, added in the little bits of details, which I did off camera, because honestly, I could not believe how much patience and how steady my hand needed to be, and I couldn't do it with the camera in the way, so I had to do that off camera. And then when everything was dried, I added some subtle shadows using grey and white paint on the pillars, especially, and that was just to give it a bit more dimension and more depth, make it look a bit more realistic, as much as I could anyway. And then it was time for the gold leaf. I used the gold size adhesive and waited until it turned transparent. Not too long, takes about 10 minutes to dry. And usually for small paintings like this, 10 minutes is more than enough time. You just want it to be a bit tacky to touch. But yeah, I had a little bit of trouble in this section. It's been a while since I worked with gold leaf, and I just completely forgot to press it down with a brush before brushing away all the excess, but that's my lesson relearned. Yeah, I just ended up ripping up the gold leaf a bunch of times. You can tell there's just a lot on my mind. It just wasn't working out. But anyway, moving on from that, I love how the gold caught the light in the final piece. There's just something so timeless about this combination of texture and shine. I love, love, love a bit of gold leaf. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If there's a verse or a structure you'd like to see next, I'd love to hear your ideas. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more process videos like this. Thank you.